I think it is probably Kenyans in the diaspora who probably still hold the hope of changing that country on the basis of their worldview. They have a more expanded worldview compared to Kenyans inside that country. There are Kenyans who go to vote, but they have never left the village. Their worldview is within the chief. If they go very far, they have gone to Kisumu or Muranga, they come back. So on the basis of having left the country, and on the basis of having experienced democracy outside the country, and on the basis of having seen what is possible outside, it is possible for a Kenyan to go back to Kenya and say that these things are actually possible. There are people who do not believe that we can ever have medicine in hospitals. They believe that we can never have a free education system. But having lived abroad and seen all these things, there is a lot of potential. The problem is whether there could be some unity, political unity, to enable an alternative to emerge, and to have a political unity, or to have people who are capable of understanding politics in a way that they make an intervention in Kenya. This must be very conscious people who have already understood the issues and who have set aside things like tribalism aside and understood the ideological dimension of Kenyan politics, understood that capitalism is not working in our country for the last 45 years, and also understood that there is need for a political alternative. We have people here in Stockholm, we have people in London, we have people everywhere. But let me ask you one question. When elections were rigged, how many Kenyans came to demonstrate outside the Kenyan embassy? A demonstration was called. But then, how many people came? Yeah. We were less than 15 people. Yet we are over 400 Kenyans in this Stockholm. This alone shows the level of consciousness of individuals.
It's not there.
A rigged election, demonstration against a rigged election had nothing to do with politics. People were dying, you know. But then, the problem is that in politics you can't associate with everybody. Ideology is the only known feature that could bind individuals who are serious in politics. In Kenya now it is ethnicity. And this ethnicity, it is the politicians up there, the Luos, the Kikuyus, the Luyas, the Kalajins, they do business. When Ruto sits with Raila and Kibaki and Mudavadi, they are all different ethnic groups. But how comes they agree more than we agree down here? It is because they use the ethnicity. It is like a pyramid. They sit on top of the pyramid, but down here the masses do not even communicate with one another. We need people who can go beyond this understanding in order to try and change Kenya. And writing a book like this, one of the inspiration was because of the impossibility of just writing articles and getting them into Kenya. This is just another step of continuing with the struggle in Kenya, because we cannot say that our people have not been struggling. We cannot say that we have not achieved anything since the days of the colonialism. Because one, our people realized they were colonized. They took guns through the Mau Mau. They drove the British. What happened? The British came back through black people white people in black skins. The Kenyatas, the what, etc. People began to fight against the Kenyatta regime. He started assassinating people. We have had revolutions in Kenya. The Mau Mau struggle was a revolution. The second revolution in Kenya was the revolution to reintroduce political pluralism in Kenya, where there was only one party. You could not talk about Ford Kenya, Ford Asili, and so forth. When we got that thing called multipartyism, that was another revolution that happened in our country. The third revolution that happened in that country was when we removed Kanu from power. Moi had been there for 24 years. Nobody believed Moi would ever leave power. The day Moi handed that power to Kibaki, people even stoned him and, cast shit on him, on his car when he was going. Because people were fed, they thought this guy will never leave. So that was another revolution, removing Moi from power. Now, when Kibaki took power, people thought there would be changes. What revolution do we need again? If all these revolutions have already gone through. Now, which revolution do we really need? Because we have done everything. We are now trying to say that the Constitution is the problem. The Constitution is a piece of paper like this paper. It will not put food on the table. It will not bring medicine in hospitals. The kind of revolution we need in Kenya today is the revolution to overturn a system that is not working, and that has nothing to do with individual politicians. The system is there for 45 years. We think that the leaders come and go. Kenyatta came, Moi came, whoever came, you know, but the system is intact. So people who can change Kenya today are people who understand the dimensions of the role the political system is playing in Kenya to put us where we are. We are in this country. This country is not driven by any ethnicity. It is driven by ideological politics. If you ask a Swede, they are represented by ideas. And those ideas are in ideology. It is not individuals. If I ask you today, who is your MP? I live here in Tense. I've been trying to become the MP of the area. But who is your MP? You can't name even one person. And yet in Kenya, we have a system where one person is representing a multitude of people who are following him like sheep. So the bottom line is that we need people who can understand ideological politics, and even if somebody does not understand this politics, there is the possibility of us getting together to discuss what is it. Right now we have one condition. There is a crisis. Nothing works. What is lacking is an organized structure. And from here, what we can do here is to try and educate ourselves politically and come with a political alternative that you can begin to sell. You cannot sell something you don't have. First, we educate ourselves, discuss these things. And it cannot happen if we are not organized politically. This is what I would say about the diaspora question. We are capable. ANC was abroad in exile for many, many years. They went back and took power. Eritrean government,
and
they were all in exile. They went back and took power. You know, today Somalia is not working. The people being looked at are Somalis who are outside the country to go ahead because they are coming with new ideas. We have been saying Kibaki must go, Moi must go. What about the system? They go and leave that rotten system there. It is like we are always inheriting a house which is decrepit, everything is falling apart. A new guy comes in, there is nothing works in the kitchen. We say you must go, we bring in a new one, the bathroom is not working. It's the system of government.
Okay.
Yes, we can.